Howdy everybody. As I started eating, I recently got into a specific candy that I didn't really think I'd like, and I actually really do. So, I wanted to go over this list of some wacky candy randies and just sort of see where they fall in my head. The only thing is, I haven't tried, any of these candies. I've maybe tried, 10 to 15 of them. And I've actually swallowed maybe, 6 of them. So, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. We're going based solely, and mostly anyway, not solely, but mostly off assumption. It's a lot of these I haven't tried. Let's just start off with Warheads. Warheads, something sour. I don't hate sour, but I'm also not a big fan of sour. I used to really like sour and hot things, but then I started realizing, why am I making eating a challenge for myself? That seems kind of pointless. So I stopped eating them a lot, but I'd give it a C. I should rename these. Let's call this, let's call S. Suck Me Silly. That's good candy. And then A can be amazing, but not suck worthy. And then we'll put a sad face with sunglasses. We'll just put happy sunglasses. C can be can't put it worse, but also not better. And then D will be Dick stays dry tonight. And then 2 sad faces. There we go. Okay. Reese's Pieces. Some of you, pretty much all of you, are gonna be a bit surprised about this. I'm not a peanut butter guy, so in fact, let's just, in this parentheses next to the sad face, we're just gonna put Reese's, because that's where most of Reese's is gonna go. It's gonna go in D, because I don't really eat Reese's. I don't care much for Reese's Pieces. Don't care much for it. And I actually tried it. I've tried peanut butter in general. Not great. Hubba Bubba Bubble Tape. I had this fairly recently, and it is one of the most disappointing experiences I could honestly ask for in candy. It's just thin, flavorless candy, just gum. It's like they took all the gum from under the desks of your old high school, and they flattened it down to 1-ply toilet paper level, and then just wrapped it up and sold it to people. Thinking, this will be easy. 100 grand. I don't know what's in a 100 grand bar. Okay, so it's chocolate, caramel, and crisped rice. The chocolate and crisped rice, I'm okay with. That makes good candy. The caramel, not big on caramel, so maybe we'll put it in B. Original Bazooka. Now this is just a wad, a ball of bubblegum. Bubblegum, I really like. It's up there. Bubblegum is just some of the stuff that you really can't live without. I mean, obviously you can do the strips of gum, but not only does that give you, way less flavor, it also just gives you way less gum. You can either have a big old wad of it, or you can have, a strip, which is essentially just, it's thicker than this monstrosity that is Hubba Bubba Bubble Tape. But, I don't know. I much prefer gum balls to gum sticks. That's for sure. Gobstoppers, everlasting gobstoppers. This one, I've talked to so many people who think, why would they have a gobstopper? To that I say, because you want to be sucked silly. Because the gobstoppers are up there. They're some of the best, just candy to eat. Because they also you don't eat them all in one sitting. You just don't. Because every time you have one, you need to suck on it. Otherwise, you're gonna break your teeth. Because they make them hard, sugar balls. So obviously, you could just smash them open and eat them like a madman. But most of the time, you're just gonna be sucking on 2 or 3 in your mouth, and then eventually they're gonna get worn down enough where you can start chewing on them. And then it has the exact same sensation, for me anyway, of eating a Fun Dip stick. Because it's just powdered sugar. It's just a big old condensed sugar cube ball thing that just breaks apart in your mouth, and you just feel a kick. Like, that's the kick that I feel like sugar gives everyone else, but doesn't really give me, because I don't really eat sugary things that much. I'm not a sweet guy. I'm not a sweet food person. I much prefer anything but sweet. So that's why I don't really eat very many candies. Sour Patch. This might hurt some people. I am not a fan of gelatinous candy either, so Sour Patch falls in that category. With that said, I'd rather chew on one of these, at least for a little bit, before I chew on Hubba Bubba Bubble Tea. We're not even going to talk about it. Like, sour's okay. It's with Warheads. I'd rather suck on a Warhead than chew on a Sour Patch. That's just me. Hot tamales. I think this is just like a cinnamon thing, so I don't really know why it's called a hot tamale when it's just cinnamon. And I don't get it. I don't know. Cinnamon is one of those flavors where it's like, it's good, but why don't you want it in candy? I don't know.
Tootsie Pops.
Lollipop with, I think it's gum in the middle, unless that's the blow pop. This might just be a Tootsie Roll in the middle, which, honestly, banging. They are huge. Because of that inside middle thing, it is a huge freaking lollipop, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with a Tootsie Pop. It's delicious. With that said, not the best lollipop. There's plenty other ones, plenty better ones. They just make better candy. Sweet tarts. Sweet tarts can be like a B. You know, it's not bad. It's not something I go after. I think I've had it. The last time I had a sweet tart was like 6 years ago, because I guess I was on like a weird rush for trying to find candies that came in these wrapper things, because I really don't know why, but I was looking for them, and I came across sweet tarts, and I was like, oh, these are pretty good, but you know, they weren't what I was looking for, so I just stopped looking. I don't know why I was doing that for a while, but I was. And then we move on to orange slices. I think this is referring to the basic candy, which is like, I guess here, because because I don't see the, again, I'm pretty sure orange slices are good gelatin sort of thing, with just some orange flavoring, which is like citrus. Orange is a flavor for candy I didn't really expect to be so popular, but apparently it is in a lot of things. If it's done right, it can be done really well, but it's very rare that you see it done right, so I don't know. Then we move on to Fun Dip. Fun Dip gets up to suck me silly, because it's definitely, and I do think it breaches Gobstopper. But actually, no, it doesn't, and I'll tell you why. It is really up there, because it is just straight up sugar. You know, if you're looking for something that, if you're not a sweet person, because for me, I barely ever really taste sweet. Like, people will make cakes for a celebration thing, and I'll eat it, and I don't really taste very much sweet. It's just, ugh. And then if I do taste too much sweet, I hate it. I'm just thinking about eating like a frickin' cheesecake or something, and I'll eat it in the moment, but thinking about it makes me get sick, because I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be so filling, so sweet, so ugh. And same with a lot of candy. If I think about trying to eat a super sweet candy, or something that just candy that I can barely taste any sweet, there needs to be a middle ground. And Fun Dip is it's not very middle ground, because it is very sweet, but it's also like a kick. You know, it's not like just a overwhelming sweet. It's like a quick kick of sweet, and then it just goes away, which is great for me, because it's just like, oh, this is nice. It's like I could totally get addicted to this thing. And Fun Dip is one of those things that you get a lot in like Halloween, and those are like the best thing you can get for Halloween. But in terms of just buying them yourself, which is why they're not above Gobstoppers, they get boring, because after a few, you're like, these they don't kick as much. You know, you need to space them out, and once you stop spacing them out, you sort of start losing interest in them. But they are still a very good candy, and chewing on that stick, sucking on it, and then getting it weak enough that it sort of falls apart in your mouth, and you start chewing on it, and it just releases the flavor sensation. That is the best part. You could take away the powder and just sell the stick, and the stick would still make it up to suck me silly level, because it is amazing. What is not amazing is these Jawbreakers. Now, maybe it's the ones I got. Maybe they were expired, because they were from that Green Hills grocery. They were not good. They they tasted like chlorine. They looked really nice and they sounded nice. I liked the little clattering they made. I put one in my mouth. I started sucking on it. It started kind of melting into my teeth. So it wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily a jawbreaker in how most people expect a jawbreaker. Like with Ed, Edd n Eddy, I was expecting to just keep it in my cheek and just suck on it for a while like a gobstopper, and it'll eventually go away. This was just disappointment city. The only good quality about it is that it looks nice. So I'm actually going to put it right above Reese's Pieces, because I still would rather at least suck on that for a few seconds than even attempt to put anything peanut butter in my mouth. Andes, which I think are like mint things, like mint wafers or whatever. And they're okay. You know, mint, like, I'm not a very mint guy though, so it's gonna go down to C. I think behind hot tamales, so yeah, it's not okay. It's actually pretty bad for me. I'm not a mint guy. It's just, I don't know what it is. I can tolerate it in toothpaste, but then if I leave the toothpaste in my mouth for too long, I start to gag. I start gagging, so I don't exactly tolerate toothpaste. But I don't tolerate mint. Mint isn't a thing for me. I'm not a big fan. And candy, like, it's just gonna, I don't know. It's not something I look forward to. Lifesavers. These are the chewy lifesavers, because the hard ones I saw before. Where are they? There they are. These are the hard candies. Chewy ones. They're like behind sweet tarts for me. They have nice flavor, but again, I'm not a big fan of like the gelatinous sort of thing. And it's definitely, for me, it's less noticeable than the Sour Patch. And the fact that it's not sour, you can actually taste the flavors of it. It's good. I like it. Ring Pops. Ring Pops are up there, man. Again, these are one of the. They're still not the best. They're still one of the definitive best lollipop for me. But Ring Pops are up there, and dare I say, beyond gobstoppers. Here's my case. They're a little bit annoying to eat, sure, but they are fun. And candy is one of those things that you have when you're spoiling yourself, or you're a kid and you're like going to the store, you're picking out something, and you're having fun with it. You're not picking a candy because, oh, it's 2 p.m. I need to eat something for lunch. No, you're not eating something out of convenience. You're eating candy out of just wanting something that tastes good and is fun to eat. And what is more fun to eat than a lollipop that you put on your finger as if it was a ring? Ring Pop. Delicious. They have great flavors. They have just everything you can ask for in a lollipop, except for just convenience. Like, but the thing is not convenience. It's like, eventually it gets to a point where you're just sucking on like a tiny little piece of like cherry flavored sugar that's like stuck to the knob that it's been put on the ring. And sometimes that could be annoying. Sometimes I'm into it. Three Musketeers. I have to look up what's in Three Musketeers. One sec. So this is something. So I haven't eaten a Three Musketeers. It says on the Googles that it is a chocolate-covered whipped mousse, which is just more chocolate, I assume. That sounds really good. I might try a Three Musketeers today, because I'm going to work soon, and I might try a Three Musketeers. That sounds really good. I'm putting that in A. I can't put it higher than the other things, because I've had them before, and I like them. But that sounds really good. That sounds like that. Whipped mousse. That sounds good. I'm gonna be trying that. So Twizzlers. Not a fan of licorice. I think I'd rather have it over that. But then that's it. It's the same situation with a lot of these candies, where it's like I can enjoy it for like the first 5 seconds, and then whatever it turns into after the flavor disappears, it really drastically changes my opinion on it. So like Sour Patch, Twizzlers. What was the one thing? It was like a sour crawlers thing. Like, it was like, the flavor's there, and then eventually you're just left with a gelatinous mush in your mouth, and it's like, oh, this isn't great. Why am I eating this? So yeah, Twizzlers, C. It's very, licorice on its own tastes odd. The strawberry flavor is okay, and then it goes away, and you're just left with something yucky. I feel like with a lot of candy, you're supposed to swallow it pretty quick. Otherwise, you're just left with something weird in your mouth. And I usually take my time to chew things that I haven't eaten before. So it's like most candies. So I wind up just hating it because of what I do. It's whatever. Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers are fun, suckable thingamadoodle. We'll put it above Sweet Tarts. There's better versions of what you could get with a Jolly Rancher out there, at least from my perspective. Swedish Fish. Is this Swedish? I think this is just regular, just fish. I'm not seeing Swedish fish otherwise, so I'm assuming this is just Swedish fish. I'll put it above orange slices, because again, it's not a gelatinous thing, not a very big fan. Tootsie Rolls, I've not actually had a Tootsie Roll. It's chocolate taffy. Okay, that's interesting. You know, I might actually be into that then, because I do like some taffy. Like, it's not, like, taffy is one of those things I'm a fairly big fan of. I'm okay with, in terms of candy. So we'll put it, like, behind Jolly Rancher, because that sounds good. I could enjoy that. Mounds, I'm not a fan too much of coconut, but it can be done right. And Mounds, I don't know. I haven't had it before, so I can't say. I'll put it at the bottom of B. Beaded necklaces. These hard candies, there's some hard candies where I'm like, okay, I can enjoy this. Candy necklaces I can't, because this is something you're supposed to chew. If it's a hard candy, I like to suck on it, like Gobstoppers. This stick of a Fun Dip. I want it to be sucked. I want to suck on it, because I don't know if my teeth are just very frail or just fragile, but I just don't enjoy the sensation. I don't enjoy the sensation of chewing on a hard candy. We'll put it there, because it's not. I'd rather have a Warhead, but it's definitely not B. It's definitely better than all these, though. Razzles. I don't know what a Razzle is, but as far as I'm concerned, it's like a hard candy that are fun, because they got the little indents on the top. I love Razzles just from looking at them. Like, my family would eat them a lot when I was a kid, and I wouldn't eat them, but I'd just look at them, and I'd, like, play with them. Like, I'd literally play with Razzles, because they just looked fun. So, it's apparently a candy that turns into, like, a gum sort of chewing thing. That sounds actually lovely. We're putting that there, above Three Musketeers, because that sounds like something I could be into. That sounds like banger material for a candy. I'm trying Razzles and I'm trying Three Musketeers. Anything that gets above a B I have not tried, I'm going to try it when I go to work. And I will maybe update you all on the situation. Crunch Bar, up there and Suck Me Silly. Crunch, especially cold Crunch, so good. Because it adds to the crunch. Which I'm not usually a big fan of cold chocolate. Like, if I put a Hershey bar in the fridge, I don't really like that. It's a little too hard. But with Crunch, it makes sense, because it has all the crunch aspect to it already. So you put it in the fridge, it's just even more crunchy. And it's so good. Crisp Rice makes it amazing. There's only, I think, one candy bar that tops Crunch for me, and it's coming up pretty soon. But yeah, Crunch is really good, especially if you put it in the fridge. I don't know what this is. Are those candy cigarettes? My sister loved these things, but because they were cigarettes, I was and still am a no thank you for drugs. So I don't really. I'm gonna put it down here. I will put it at the top of D, because it's not something I'd be interested in. So that's still not something I'm interested in. I don't even think they're around anymore to try. But I would rather try one of these and eat another one of these. That's for sure. And this is what I was talking about, by the way, with the better bar. Kit Kat. Kit Kat is up there. I don't know if I'd put it above any of those. That is the best chocolate bar you can get, in general. It is a nice milk chocolate, or white chocolate, but I must prefer milk chocolate. And then it's the wafer. The wafer adds such a nice texture to your eating experience, and it makes it a more airy, it makes it feel better in your mouth. It just makes it such a better experience for chocolate. People usually put Kit Kat and Reese's in, like, the very, very top of this list, so I'm sure if I go to view the community rank, that's going to be the situation, which I'm going to do at the end. So I don't want to spoil my rankings. I don't want to let them seep into my ranking. So I'm not looking at it just yet. But yeah, Kit Kat, it's up there. It's up there, and it's staying up there. But I wouldn't put it above any of these, because I prefer these. These are much more fun to eat in terms of candy. I feel like that's what I look at. Smarties. Smarties to suck on. I actually used to like Smarties a lot. And then I had the big Smarties, and then I was like, this is too big, and it makes for a very awkward experience. And then I went back to the small ones, and then I was also disappointed by the small ones. So I'm putting it at the very top of B. It's good, but it's just disappointing now. I don't know what happened to it. York Peppermint Patty It's mint, peppermint, so it can't go any higher than the Andes, but I would much rather have a York than the Andes, so that's as far as I can put it. Dots. Dots, another fun candy. Another fun candy, I really like, again, this is weird, but I like playing with dots. As a kid, I'd play with them whenever my sister was eating them. Like, I'd ask for one, and then I'd just be like, wow, how good to go. Ooh, it's so fun. It's a good gumdrop, boy. Ooh. I'm a very freaking stupid person, and I've always been. But I haven't actually had a dot. I've been told by some people that it tastes like cleaner, but I've also been told that it tastes amazing. My family does like them. So I'm not going to put it above an egg. I don't think I'm going to be trying these today. Because again, it's also another gelatinous thing, I'm pretty sure. Fairly certain. So I wouldn't like it that much. But just off of the fun that I've had with it, I'm going to put it above a mound. So, there we go. That's my ranking for that. Peeps. Marshmallow. Not a fan of marshmallow. And I'm not a big fan of Peeps. We'll put it, however, right below Warheads, because I'd rather have a Peep, like a marshmallow, than anything else, because I like the taste of marshmallow. It's the texture of marshmallow, and it's the texture of most things that makes me not like them, or like them a lot. Sometimes the texture will be null and void. Sometimes I'll like a texture in one thing, but then I'll hate it in another. It's very weird. My taste receptors, my tongue, my mouth in general, is a very picky sumbitch. Oh, but that's okay. Cookie dough bites, haven't had, but it sounds good. Put that right above 100 grams. There's a caramel on it, and I'm not a big fan of caramel. Actually, 100 grams shouldn't be that high. I like that more than I like caramel. I'd probably like that more. Let's put that like that. Because I'm not a caramel guy. Not a big fan. Starburst, yo, Starburst is good. I would say, like, right before Bazooka Gum. Actually, no, it beats Bazooka Gum for sure. Starbursts are good. It's like a nice condensed ball of, like, taffy. I don't know what Starburst is exactly, but that's essentially what it is to me. And it's good. It's good. It's nice. I'll chew on it. Sometimes I'll just suck on it, and it'll slowly just dissolve in my mouth. Other times I'll start chewing on it, and then it just goes down, and it's great. It's good. Depending on what mood I'm in, I'll eat a Starburst differently. It's great. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, worse than Reese's Pieces. Just so much peanut butter. Ugh, I'm not a fan at all. Fruit Gushers, never had. Probably never will. But it does sound promising. So we'll put it like right above Candy Necklaces. I feel like Candy Necklace is like the point where like things can easily be better than a Candy Necklace, and it just sits there. Lemon Heads, Lemon Heads are alright. Better than a Candy Necklace. Yeah, that's about all I can say. They're okay. My sister loved them as a kid, but no one really eats them now. It's just a sour candy which is like, again, not a big fan. Airheads. Airheads are the better version of Starburst. And I wouldn't even say they're a better version of Starburst, because I never even considered them like separate, like the same until just now. Airheads are great. Airheads are the thing that made me want to do this tier list, because my friend loves Airheads. Like, they were probably his favorite candy. And I was never into them. I never tried them, so I never thought to try them. But then I got one of those little theater box, like 6 packs of them. Because I was like, hey, it's $2 and it's 6 of them, and I'm sure they'd be pretty good. And oh my god, they're amazing. Like, above Fun Dip, amazing. Actually, no, not above Fun Dip, but they're up there. Like, it's top 5 candy for sure. It is so good. They're delicious, man. I'm just starstruck looking at Airheads. Because they're good, man. That's all I could say. The texture's fine. I like chewing on it. I like just slowly just melting it away. And then just... It's great. It's a great experience all around. Airheads definitely suck me silly. I'd wrap an Airhead around my penis like a condom, so I could have more Airhead. It's just so good. And, back-to-back bangers. Dum Dums. V. Undisputable. Best way to have a lollipop is a Dum Dum. I love Dum Dums. They're small, so obviously, you know, they go away after like a few minutes if you're sucking. If you have a lot of saliva in your mouth like myself, I produce a lot of saliva. To the point where my family gets scared sometimes. That's how much saliva I can just spit out of my mouth. But yeah, Dum Dums are so good. There's so many different flavors. I really want to do a Dum Dums tier list, but I haven't tried a lot of the flavors. Like, I've tried most of the basic ones, but there's a lot of them online that I could buy, and I really want to buy them, because you can buy, like, big bulk bags of, like, of different certain flavors. So maybe I'll do that in the future, but definitely in the future, because Dum Dums are seriously my favorite candy on this list. Dum Dums are amazing. Yeah, I'm not gonna take up too much time with Dum Dums. Then we move on to Hershey Kiss. Hershey Kiss, it's A, and I'd put it above the things that maybe above that too, because chocolate is good. I do enjoy chocolate, and Hershey Kisses is just a small little. They're fun. They're more fun than a regular Hershey bar, but they're also more kind of nuisance because you have to unwrap each individual piece. But it's still good. It's still really good. But I wouldn't suck anybody silly for a Hershey Kiss, that's for sure. Unless it's like... No, I just wouldn't. Sour Patch Watermelon, I'd probably like it more than Sour Patch Regular, so we'll leave it at that. Snickers, what is a Snickers? This thing has nougat, caramel, and peanuts. Sorry. Not happening. You put peanuts in something, you put caramel in something. You took the two things in candy that I'm like, and you put it in one. Sick freak. Snickers is a sick freak. Twix. So it's a biscuit thing with caramel and chocolate. Biscuit with caramel and chocolate. Definitely C, because it's not... I would like caramel more than I like peanut butter, but it's not going to be very high in C. Or maybe it is, because honestly, I'd rather have caramel than a beaded necklace. Sorry, I really don't like this. I want to put that in D, but I would rather have that than anything else here. Especially the Hubba Bubba bubble tape. God. What is this? Nerds? These are Nerds. I never actually had Nerds. My sister loved Nerds. They're just a hard candy, I guess, but you're supposed to chew on them, so it's a very similar situation with the necklace, where it's just awkward. I imagine it's being awkward as one of those anyway. So not a fan. Milk Duds. Caramel ball with chocolate. Let's move on. Fireball. I'll put it with Hot Tamale. Not a big fan. That's as far as I can really go with those. Milky Way. So it's a Snickers without the peanuts, essentially, is what a Milky Way is. Which makes me like it a lot more. But it still has caramel in it, so we're putting it below Twix. We're hitting a point where there's a lot of chocolates that I just don't know what the hell is in them. But I think we've run out of those, so we're looking good. We're coming down to the wire, though. We're hitting the end of the list, almost. Blow Pops, another great one. I love lollipops, so it's going up there. It's above Tootsie Pop for me. I would say it's like above Bubblegum too. I wouldn't say it's above a Starburst though. But Blow Pops are good. That's the one with gum inside, and it's just a lollipop with gum in it. So big fan. Lifesavers Hard Candy. I am okay with. They're top of B for me, I think, because it's essentially just a nicer Smartie. It's a Smartie that I could eat and say, that wasn't disappointing. That's about all I could say. Pez. Oh, Pez. Poor Pez. I thought Pez was going to be amazing. And I remember as a kid liking Pez. But I tried it recently and oof. It is on par with the candy necklace. I don't know if they cheaped out on Pez, but they did something to Pez that made it just not fun. Well, fun, sure, because the Pez dispensers are awesome, and I still love Pez dispensers. Again, very fun way to eat candy. But the candy itself is not something I'd enjoy eating, so I'm not going to put it very high. Pop Rocks are next. Pop Rocks scared me, and they still do. Why would I put something in my mouth that explodes? I don't get it. But, I mean, people like it, so obviously there's some sort of merit to it. But I'm not a very big fan of carbonated drinks, so fizzing in my mouth, not a big fan of with drinks. I don't know how it would be with candy. I don't know. So for now, I'm going to put it above the candy cigarettes, because just the general idea of it does not scream well with me. But if I did try it, I'd probably like it at least up to the up to the candy necklace / pets, somewhere around there / nerds. Yeah. Candy buttons, another thing that my sisters really loved, but I never had. It's just like a hard candy. I'm assuming it's similar to a nerd, but I think it'd probably be the best way to eat a nerd, because I was always interested in wanting to try these. Never really any of these. Never nerds. Yeah, but I have had all of these, except for nerds. I don't think I've had nerds. I can't remember if I had a nerd or not. But I've had most of these. I've not had, well, I've had this one, I might have had this one, I haven't had this one. There we go. And this is the one that I've been most curious about, and these have all been disappointments. And this one I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere up there. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Mike and Ike's. Dude, Mike and Ike's are banging. But it's similar to gum for me, in the sense that once you get all the flavor out, you just spit it out. I don't swallow Mike and Ike because it's like a very gelatinous thing, but it's good. It's like jelly bean. Not a big fan of jelly beans, but Mike and Ike's up there, dude. Mike and Ike is amazing. I really like Mike. There was a phase in my life as a kid where I would only have Mike and Ike's in terms of candy, and they were freaking amazing. I'm telling you, they're good. But again, I wouldn't swallow them. I'd get to the gelatinous bit and I'd start chewing it and like, this isn't going down. And I just spit it out and eat another one, which is fine. M&M's. M&M's are good. Pretzel M&M's are the best. Regular M&M's, they're above a kiss. Jelly beans. I just told you don't like jelly beans. We'll put them above Twizzlers, I think. Whoppers, dude. I never really had a Whopper until lately, like maybe a year ago. Whoppers are good. I haven't had them since, so they're not like amazing or anything, but they're definitely top of B. Because that is a thing that I would eat. I just don't. But they are good. They are very good. I didn't think I'd like them. I had some, because there was a little pack of them. They were pleasant. I enjoyed eating them. I don't remember anything about the texture, but I remember liking them. That's about all I can say. These wax bottle things, I feel like it'd be fun to chew. So with that, we'll put it like there. That's all I can really say. It's also a liquid though. Not a big fan of many liquids. Not just liquid and candy. I just think liquid in general. I only drink water because I can't really stand anything else. Skittles. I think I've had Skittles once in first grade, and they weren't that great. So I haven't had them again. They remind me now of those candy buttons. So I'm putting them around there. But Skittles, you got some work to do. But everyone loves Skittles, so I'm not expecting everyone to hate Skittles. I don't think my list is going to be the same as the community one at all. Heath Bar. Heath Bar has almonds in it. I don't like almonds. Laffy Taffy. I haven't actually had Laffy Taffy, but if it's anything like an Airhead, I'd be a pretty big fan. So we'll put it like, you know what? I'm gonna try some Laffy Taffy. I wouldn't have it over those, but at least I'm least excited about this compared to the other two. But I'm gonna try Laffy Taffy. This is just more Skittles. Gummy bears, Sour Patch, Jelly Bean level. Baby Ruth, peanut, caramel, nougat. It's another Snickers, except I like the name Snickers more than I like the name Baby Ruth. Let's see. We have candy corn. Where is candy corn gonna go? Huh? I bet no one knows. No one's gonna guess where I'm putting candy corn. Bottom of Suck Me Silly. I love candy corn. There's times in my life where I crave only candy corn. Like, above any other type of food. I love candy corn. It's great. I wouldn't say top 5 material. I wouldn't say it's above those, Kit Kat and the Crunch. but it is up there. I'm a big fan of candy corn. What I'm not a big fan of is Almond Joy. It's coconut, which you've already seen that I'm not too big of a fan of. Oh, Mounds is dark chocolate? And then Almond Joy. It just adds an almond. I don't like almonds. What is this? Gumdrop? These are just regular gumdrops, so it's like a sugar-coated dot. It doesn't make me think nearly as much fun as a dot, so it's going right above Sour Patch, because I would rather... It looks like an unsour Sour Patch Kid. Pixie Sticks. Essentially the Fun Dip... The dip of Fun Dip in a powder, in like a pack, I guess. I don't think I've ever had these. And... I'll put it in Amazing, but I don't imagine being able to find one anywhere. So I'm probably never going to be trying that. And then last but not least... The Hershey Milk Chocolate Bar. Nothing bad to say about a Hershey bar. They're great. They're good. I like them. I like them more than the Kiss because it's much easier to eat. With that said, I have one honorable shout out. Well, one shout out to a thing in particular on this list, and that is the Crunch Bar for being the only one that is a JPEG, so there's no white background behind it. Good for them. I'm proud of them. So this is my list. Take a picture, save it or download it if you want. Let's look at the view at the community rank. Okay, so this is theirs. No C's and D's. That's surprising. Oh, I'm seeing so many things I just despise on this list. First of all, B, Fireball, Drops, and Razzles. Are Razzles not good? I'm gonna try Razzles if we have them at my store. But, I don't know, I imagine Razzles being pretty dang good. Let's see. So, as I expected, Kit Kat and Reese's on the top. With Twix, not Snickers. I expected Snickers on top. But hey, you know, whatever. Whatever floats their boat. So we have the cigarettes, bazooka, tamales, gumdrops, orange slices, cookie dough, Mounds. People like Almond Joy more than Mounds? I don't see Almond Joy on the list. Oh, there it is. They do like it more than Mounds. Baby Ruth, the freaking Jawbreakers. They like it because they saw it on Ed, Edd n Eddy. And then they tried one and they probably hated it, but they like it too much in the show. That's all I'm going to say. Candy Corn's an A. Good for them. I feel like because a lot of people probably put them very low, and a lot of people put them very, very high. So it's kind of balanced out. Good for them. Blow Pops are good. I don't agree with them not making S. I think it's the only lollipop that didn't make S, which is good. But still, I think they should be up there. Yeah, but so my top 5s were Fun Dip. Alright, because my top 5, it was Airheads, Fun Dip, Gobstoppers. Gobstoppers, oh, they made it an A. Okay, well, everything else, the Fun Dip, the Dum Dums, the Ring Pops, and the Airheads made it into S. So most of the things that I like a lot also was universal. Except for the Candy Corn and the Gobstoppers. Everything else in S tier, for me, is the same for them. But they're much bigger, they're very, they give themselves away to their candy, you know. I'm very exclusive as to which candy can suck me silly. But the people have such less high of standards. Especially that damn Hubba Bubble Tape. It's fun. I'll admit it, it's fun. It is disappointing, and it is sad that it's up here. I am genuinely disappointed that Hubba Bubble Tape is up here. I get the peanut butter stuff. I get it. People other than me like peanut butter. This is just disappointing. This is very disappointing. Well, you know, that's the list. That's theirs. This is mine. I'll end it at mine. And this was fun to make, so I hope you all enjoyed looking and tuning in. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, I guess. Try some of these candies. If you don't like any of the ones I like, screw you. It's that easy. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye now.